When the robot is supposed to do multiple things, it should have common sense, right? So if the robot doesn't have common sense, he or she doesn't know how to handle it, and that's bad. I think for human interaction, there's two major parts. Number one is that when I try to interact with people, right, I have to, first of all, understand the people's response, behavior, emotional status. So that's the understanding part, right? This is part number one. Part one, to me, is relatively classical sort of ML problem or computer vision problems. Why? Well, if I want to understand your emotional status, I can either, using my eye to look at your facial movements, look at your body language, try to understand your emotional status. I can also use my ear to listen to your voice, right? There's a sentiment in your voice that can be conveyed. So that's more perception problem, perception using visual signal, using audio signals. So therefore, the task one is very classic ML, computer vision, signal processing problems. So talk about task two. Task two is, once I understand your emotional status, I have to be able to react. So this is more tricky. This is a more harder problem. Why? Because this have to have the way to not only understand, but also know what kind of emotion, what kind of response I should show up to your current emotional status. For example, if you are sad, I probably should hug you a little bit, right? I should probably say some words trying to encourage you, trying to make you feel better. That kind of reaction, I don't think the current AI system is able to have yet. Because that kind of reaction is very subtle, is depending on so many different factors, such as people's social status, people's education background, which country are they coming from, because which country they come from, their body language, their behavior will also be different, right? And they also depend on what's the granularity of the emotional status. How sad you are, depending on the granularity, my reaction will also be going to be different. So because of so many dimensions, so many subtleties, right now the AI system is not able to handle that portion quite well yet. If you want to ask the AI model to have the intelligence of, let's say, 5-year-old kids, 7-year-old kids, having a common understanding, common sense, for example, that's actually a lot harder. Because people really don't know how to represent or encoding those information for the AI systems, because they are so generic, right? When things are so generic, you cannot have a mathematical formulation for it. When you don't have a mathematical formulations, then we cannot do much about it, because everything in AI have to start with the math, have to start with equations. So common knowledge, general knowledge is very hard for AI system to have.